There's a bottle sitting on a shelf in a chemistry classroom that costs about $2 to make at home, and it can strip rust off a century-old tool better than most of the miracle sprays flooding your ad feed right now, and almost nobody talks about it. Not because it's a secret formula locked away by some corporation, but because it's boring. It's slow. It doesn't smoke, it doesn't fizz dramatically on camera, and it definitely doesn't come with a testimonial from a guy named Jackson who restores vintage muscle cars. It's just citric acid. The same stuff sitting in your kitchen cabinet in a can of lemonade mix. Here's the problem most people run into. Rust creeps onto everything. Tools, hinges, old car parts, that wrench you left out in the rain one summer. And the fixes people reach for are either brutal or bogus. Sanding chews into the metal and leaves it thinner and weaker than before. Wire wheels throw metal dust everywhere and still miss the pitted spots. And then there's the other extreme. The internet ad promising a spray that turns rust back into metal in 3 seconds, backed by a university that, when you actually look it up, has no public record of the partnership. People fall for these because the alternative, hours of scrubbing, genuinely sucks, and desperation makes bold claims sound plausible. So what actually works, and why doesn't anyone push it? The overlooked answer isn't a new invention. It's a repurposed piece of basic chemistry that's been sitting in plain sight for decades, used quietly by metal conservators, museum restorers, and machinists who don't have marketing budgets or affiliate links, just a job to do. Rust, chemically, is iron oxide, the product of iron reacting with oxygen and moisture over time. Citric acid, a weak organic acid found naturally in citrus fruits, does something specific when it meets iron oxide. It chelates the iron. That means the acid molecules physically wrap around iron ions and pull them into solution, dissolving the rust layer without meaningfully attacking the solid metal underneath. This isn't folklore. It's the same principle behind commercial rust removal soaks that conservators have used on museum pieces for years, precisely because it's gentle enough not to damage the original surface. The science has been documented in metallurgy and conservation literature for a long time. It's just never been dramatic enough to sell. That's really the heart of why this method stays under the radar. It's not a conspiracy. Nobody's suppressing lemon juice. It's simpler than that. A $2 soak that takes 6 to 12 hours doesn't lend itself to a 15-second ad. There's no drop shipping margin in citric acid powder you can buy in bulk for less than a cup of coffee. The business model of viral rust spray ads depends on urgency and spectacle. Smoke, sizzling, before and afters, filmed in the most flattering lighting possible. A slow soak in a bucket doesn't perform well on a feed built for 6-second attention spans, so it never gets the marketing dollars, even though it quietly outperforms most of what does. You can see this play out anywhere people restore old iron by hand. Antique tool collectors use citric acid baths to bring back hand planes and chisels without losing the original stamped markings, something aggressive sanding would erase instantly. Bicycle restorers use it on old steel frames. Even firearm collectors, dealing with delicate machined parts, favor it over wire wheels for exactly this reason. It removes the oxide, not the object. If you want to try it yourself, it's genuinely simple. Dissolve citric acid powder into warm water. Roughly a quarter cup per gallon is a solid starting ratio, though rustier pieces can handle a stronger mix. Submerge the rusted item completely. A plastic bucket or a sealed bag works fine for smaller parts. Let it sit anywhere from 6 to 24 hours depending on how bad the rust is. This is not an instant process, and anyone telling you otherwise is selling you spectacle, not chemistry. Check on it periodically. You'll start to notice the water turning a murky orange-brown as the iron dissolves out of the metal and into solution. Once the rust has visibly lifted, pull the piece out and scrub gently with a soft brush or steel wool. At this stage, the loosened rust wipes away easily instead of needing to be ground off. Rinse thoroughly, because leftover acid residue will just invite new rust to form. Dry the piece completely and immediately, then coat it with a light oil or wax. That last step matters more than people think. Bare iron left exposed to air will start rusting again within hours, acid bath or not. It's worth being honest about the limits here, because no method is universal, and pretending otherwise is exactly the trap this whole industry falls into. Citric acid works on ferrous metal, iron and steel, but it's not the move for aluminum, brass, or anything plated, where it can dull or discolor the surface instead of helping. It won't undo deep pitting. If rust has already eaten channels into the metal, no chemical on Earth restores that lost material, no matter what a 50-year warranty claims. Ventilation is still smart practice, even with something this mild, and gloves are worth wearing simply because prolonged skin contact with any acid, weak or not, isn't pleasant. And it's slow. If you need a bolt freed in the next 5 minutes, this isn't your tool. It's for pieces you actually care about preserving, not emergency repairs. This is the kind of quieter, tested process we dig into regularly here on Secret Lab, because the real fixes are rarely the flashy ones. What's strange, once you know this, is how much of what gets marketed to us as breakthrough technology is really just old, well-understood chemistry repackaged with better lighting and a fake case study. The gap isn't in the science. The science has been sitting there, documented and reproducible for longer than most of these ad campaigns have existed. The gap is in attention. The loud, dramatic, unverifiable claim will always outcompete the quiet, slow, real one for a few seconds of your scroll, right up until you actually need the fix to work. Maybe the real skill worth building isn't spotting the next miracle product before everyone else. It's learning to recognize when the honest answer was already sitting in your kitchen cabinet the whole time. Want me to also draft the fact check log for this one? Citric acid, chelation chemistry, conservation use citations, before this goes into the Hinglish Urdu adaptation pass, or tweak the tone, just length first?